Night Stock Zoom call. I hope you had a productive last week and you're having a powerful weekend. Looking forward to a prosperous upcoming week in the market. Family, this is not financial advice. This Zoom call is for education, excitement, and empowerment. And we're going to hear Dana preach some more so you can make your own financial decisions. All personal choices should be made after talking with a licensed professional. With that said, hey, listen, we're not wasting no time. We got a big show on tonight. I think you're going to like what we got for you. I got my man, Greg Trent. He's in the background. He's going to talk to us tonight. But before we do that, Jana, talk to us. What's happening this week in the market?
Good evening, SNS family. Here to share with you all some quick updates about what to expect with earnings this week. There will be an earnings call on Monday for Facebook. On Tuesday, you can expect earnings calls for General Electric, Advanced Micro Devices, Microsoft, Twitter, and Alphabet Inc. And Wednesday, there will be an earnings call for Boeing, Spotify Technologies, Ford Motor, Twilio, and Teladoc Health. Thursday, Shopify, Apple, Amazon, and Starbucks. And lastly, on Friday, expect earnings calls from ExxonMobil, AbbVie, Royal Caribbean Cruises. And that's all for this week. Back to you, Griff.
Hey, thank you. That's what's happening this week, families. Govern yourselves accordingly. Make sure you write those down. Those earning reports are big when you're going in and out of trades. Hey, Roz, unmute your line. Roz or Rick, whichever one of you all going to do it tonight. Who was our biggest winners and losers in the stock market last week? Talk to us.
All righty. Hello, everybody. Okay, for our winners this week, we have SVB Financial Group. SIVB, they're up 6.80%. Meta Toledo International, MTD, they were up 2.28%. AutoZone, AZO, was up 1.39%. Tesla, TSLA, was up 1.75%. And ESMO Holdings, New York, ASML, was up 1.70%. Those are our top winners for this week. Our losers for this week is Amazon.com, AMZN. They lost 2.90%. Alphabet, CLA, Google, GOOGL, was down 3.04%. Alphabet, CLC, GOOG, was down 2.91%. MELI was down 5.06%. And Shopify, SHOP, was down 4.73%. So that's our highs and lows for this week. And back to you.
Hey, that's good. That's good. Listen, family, two things are for sure. Listen, we can never time the market. I don't care what you do. You can never time the market. And two things are for sure. You're not going to never buy at the top, and you're not going to never sell at the bottom. So you got to know how to scrape that cream. As Rick Ross would say, you got to be able to get that cream off the top. When you see that stock buzzing where you think it ought to be buzzing, that is pleasing to you. Hey, listen, before we get in tonight's show is going to be all things crypto tonight. All things crypto. I think you're going to like what we got for you. But I just want to let you all on an inside track on what I did this week in the market as it pertains to my portfolio. And this was me. This is what I did. You ought to be looking at your portfolios because, again, you are the president, CEO of your own financial portfolio. What we try to do is put you in the best positions so that you can make the best plays and reap the rewards. But back to the story before I bring G Trent in. What I did this week, man, I looked at Tesla. Roz just gave us the numbers on them. Tesla was up. It was trending. And when Tesla had the split, I had about 12 shares in Tesla. Tesla went up to about $2,500. I sold off per share. I sold off about 10 of those shares, which left me with 2 shares. So I had 2 shares of Tesla. I bought into Tesla when Tesla was $385 per share. So I had 2 shares at $385 per share. Tesla went up this week to about 910, 915, 909, maybe had been the highest, and it was fluctuating. So I had to make a decision. I could have kept Tesla. I could have kept it in there and kept it. But since they had the split, was before the pandemic. Tesla kept fluctuating up and down, going up and down, up and down. So I needed to make a decision as it pertains to me being the president and CEO of my portfolio. So what I decided to do, I got tired of seeing Tesla going up and down. I would be up 200, then I would be up 300, then I would be up maybe another 200. And this had been going on for the last, maybe, 9-10 months, just going up. Never got in the red because I bought in so low. But I only had 2 shares, family. I only had 2 shares. So now I got a decision to make. Griff, what are you going to do? Are you going to retire off 2 shares of Tesla? No. Even if Tesla, and I know it's not going to do it, by the end of this year, but let's just say by Christmas, Tesla went up to $1,500 per share. That's a stretch. I don't see it happening. Maybe it might happen next year, if so. But let's just say it did go up by Christmas. It went up to $1,500 per share. All right, I only got 2 shares. So what's that? $3,000. All right, minus the what? Let's say 800 I put in. So that's 8 minus the $3,000. I'm not retiring off it. So I could either just keep the 2 shares of Tesla, and which what it does for my portfolio on the other end, it keeps me, when I'm in the red in certain positions, it keeps me weighted down. So I got tired of seeing that profit going up to 1,000, 1,100, dropping back down to 200. Then it'll get up the profits of 600, dropping back down to 500. So when it topped out this week to 1,100, I went on ahead and took that profit off, and I put that money, I got that money in dry powder. Why did I do that? Remember I told you we're coming up to the end of the year. Most of these hedge funds, big companies are going to start pulling their profits, pulling their shares. A lot of the stocks are going to go down. I'm waiting to make a big score around December 23rd, December 24th, when everybody's looking at Santa Claus. I want to have me enough dry powder on the side so that I can get into a lot of good plays. And then around February and March, when those plays sprout up, I want to be in low and I want to be cashing out. So I thought for myself, as being the president and CEO of my own portfolio, I can do more, or I could make more than the 3,000 that if Tesla did go to 1,500, which they're not going to go to 1,500 by Christmas, I can make more putting that money on the side, having that dry powder ready to go, getting into some other plays and riding those plays up, getting more shares than I would with 2 shares in Tesla and just watching it do the seesaw thing. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. So I just wanted to kind of give you that. That was kind of something I did in my portfolio this week. And I made that decision to offload those 2 shares. And I got a nice little cushion of dry powder on the side. And then what I did do is, remember I kept telling you all about IQST. That penny stock, I saw it drop this week to about 42, 43%. I'm already heavy in it. So what I did, I took 40% of the profits that I made in Tesla, and I went back and bought me another 1,000 shares of IQST. So I parlayed the 40% of the profits, put it in that, got 1,000 shares of another stock, and then I'm waiting for some other opportunities. So just wanted to kind of share with you a little portfolio management that I did this week. And a move that I made this week. And you ought to be looking to make some moves as we're in this 4th quarter, as we get ready to close out this year in your own portfolios as well. But hey, with that said, listen, we've been making crypto has been making a lot of noise. Crypto has been really burning it up. And I really think for you all who didn't join us in that space, you really need to get in that space. I'm telling you, our boy Kev, he's been really just laughing every day. Pastor Harper has been laughing every day. Dana, who else is out there? First Lady Alexander. They have really been, myself, we have really been making some money in this crypto. Rick Ross been making some money in this crypto. If you're not in crypto, you're hurting yourselves. That's another area that you can be making some money. Crypto is on fire. And I thought that it would be fitting tonight for one of our SNS family members. Listen, he's big in that space. He knows about that space, and he can really speak to that. And I want G Trent to get in the bag tonight on SNS. I want him to get in the bag all four corners. Hey, Greg, why don't you unmute your line, man, and talk to the family tonight? It's your show. We're going to sit back, and whatever you have prepared, we're going to glean, and we're going to be ready to go. Greg Trent, talk to us, bro.
Thank you, Pastor Griff. Hope you can hear me well. Okay. I know serving Dana is a hard act to follow, but I'll try to do best I can. Okay, so what is Bitcoin? Well, you know, there's a lot of stories out there, and there's a lot of hype and a lot of detractors out there, but in the end, Bitcoin is the first microcurrency that came across. And I want to give you a little bit of history about it so that you understand what the basis of it is and how it's become a secure mode of currency that is decentralized. And we'll go into that a bit later. But what I want to do is share my screen with you and pull up a picture. First of all, I don't know if you've heard of Satoshi Nakamoto. He is the one who created Bitcoin, and he also created the blockchain. Now, he created these simultaneously because he wanted to make sure that after the disaster of 2008 and 9 with the financial companies and the banks that had gone under, that had ruined their credibility because they had put out all these loans that were not good for mortgages to people who weren't able to pay them back. Because of that, a lot of people lost money. Let me roll up here that says that during that time, they estimate that $16 trillion, $16 trillion in household wealth was lost because the banks had put out these mortgages that were unsustainable. And banks like Lehman Brothers eventually went bankrupt, while others were forced to take massive bailouts from the government because they were too big to fail. So the trust in these banks waned, and some people, after all, what was to stop the banks from coming and doing this again? So with this thought in mind, people started brainstorming ways to cut out the financial middleman, meaning the banks. And that's how the idea of decentralization was born. Decentralization is basically what it says, right? Centralization is where all the money is focused in the financial system, in the banks, and the other organizations that handle the money for us, Visa, MasterCard. Every time we do a transaction, it goes through one of these middlemen to take our money from one place and put it in another. So Satoshi Nakamoto came up with this idea, right? He wanted to create Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now, the article that he wrote was this one. And by the way, Satoshi Nakamoto, they still don't know who he is. This was apparently a name that was used to write this document and to create this system, but they still don't know who he is. It may be a person, it may be a group of people, but basically he's anonymous at this point. What he did was he wanted to have a system where money could be transferred from one person to another person without going through a bank. But the problem with that was that it had to be secure. So I wanted to show you this picture, right? So it's a multi-layer thing that he created. At the basis of it was blockchain. Now, what is blockchain? Blockchain is a system separate from Bitcoin. It's not the same thing. People make it sound like it's the same thing. But blockchain is basically an algorithm. All right, what's an algorithm? An algorithm is a mathematical function. When you take 2 + 2 That's called addition. Addition in that case is an algorithm. Any mathematical formula that you use to take something and make something else out of it is an algorithm. Whenever a computer program is written, it uses algorithms to accomplish the things that it needs to accomplish. The oh, I can't see my screen. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got a message from Griff that you can't see my screen. All right, don't worry about it. I will. I'll go back to just you know, talking to you. Sorry about that. I don't know why that was so, but okay. Anyway, the idea is that blockchain creates it's an algorithm. What it does is it takes a chain of information that's written out as long as it takes to write it out, describing a transaction, right? So it'll take the information from the buyer and the seller, how much was bought, how much was sold, what the price was. All that information is written out into a line, and that line is translated by blockchain algorithm into a 256 character chain, right? Now, what does that do? It encrypts it basically, right? So each transaction now becomes a part of the blockchain. How does it keep going? In order to make sure that the blockchain is secure, what they do is they take the blockchain from the previous transaction, they add the new transaction to the back end of that chain, right? So now it's more than 256 characters. They use the blockchain algorithm to now translate that into a 256 character chain, all right? It's encrypted, but it's still vulnerable, right? Because somebody might be able to hack it and change it. So what they do is they keep applying the algorithm until the chain, the 256 character chain, starts with 00, right? Now, by doing that, what it does is it creates a whole new 256 character chain, but it's unique in that it takes a certain specific number of times applying the algorithm to get to that chain that starts with 00. Now, how is it secure? It's secure because the blockchain now is used by a number of different computers, right? So everybody who does mining of Bitcoin, for instance, they have the same blockchain that they start with. They all get the new transaction that's added, and then they use the same algorithm to change that blockchain with the added transaction into a new blockchain, and then they have to keep applying that until it starts with 00. Once they get the one that starts with 00, that blockchain is sent out and verified by everybody else who has a number of other people who have the same calculation. And basically it becomes a competition, it was a competition, right? Whoever got to the blockchain that starts with 00 first, put their blockchain out there, and the next ones that came in do the verification. If they come up with the same blockchain, then it gets verified, right? So previously it took 10 minutes because the calculations are intensive, right? It took a long time for a verification to happen because you don't know how many times you have to go through the algorithm in order to get it to start with 00. So it could be 5 times, it could be 100 times, it could be 10,000 times. But that's why the math was so intensive at first. It's still intensive, but the computers now are able to do that calculation much faster. So verification is now, instead of 10 minutes, was the average back then, it's now like a couple of minutes, or under a minute, right? A lot of them claim they can do it in 10 seconds. But they've created specialized computers that all they do is blockchain calculations to do the mining. Now, how does that work as far as Bitcoin is concerned? When a transaction for Bitcoin comes across, again, they add that to the last blockchain, do the algorithm, come up with the 00 blockchain. It's compared, verified, and the computers that actually do the verification get paid in Bitcoin. All right, so that's how the whole process comes about and starts verifying and legitimizing Bitcoin as a mode of currency, right? So people who are mining, they get paid to do the mining. The mining is actually verification of blockchains. And this is spread out across computers all over the world, right? Now, you recently heard that China has not allowed any mining in their country. And people thought that that was going to be bad, and the price of Bitcoin came down. But in essence, it was actually good for Bitcoin, because what that did was it took the mining out of China and brought it back to the United States. So now those, because people still want to mine, the people who had the computers in China just moved them to the United States and kept on mining. They're not going to give up, the mining just to, not be able to get paid in Bitcoin, especially with the price of Bitcoin being what it is now. So that's the basis of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is was the first coin that was created, and now there are thousands of coins that are out there. How do you tell what's good and what's bad? Well, it's difficult to look at an ICO, initial coin offering, and tell whether it's going to be good or not. They put out certain information that you have to look at, but basically, the safest way to do it is let somebody who knows all about it to do it for you. Coinbase is an exchange, right? For those of you who don't have a Coinbase account, you can open up an account on Coinbase and you can buy certain coins. They do a lot of vetting on the coins that they allow to be traded on their exchange. So that's a good indication of what a stable coin is. You can look on Coinbase and see the volume of coins that are traded each day. They have a running total of the 24-hour volume of coins that are being traded. That's a good indication of whether it's a stable coin or not. And you can use that as your first step in seeing whether a coin is stable or not. Bitcoin was created to be a transaction coin, right? So you can buy and sell stuff on there. As you may have heard, a lot of places now are starting to use Bitcoin or accept Bitcoin as payments. PayPal, Square, and now not Bitcoin, but Walmart has now been reportedly accepting Litecoin, right? Litecoin is another one of those coins that are out there that are pretty stable. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin are the main ones that were out there at first. They were the main stable ones, and they had specific purposes for those coins. And again, that's one of the things you need to look for, whether a coin has a specific purpose or not. And you can see by its purpose whether it's, you can tell a little bit whether it's going to be sustainable or not. So that's the basis of Bitcoin. Ethereum is the second largest coin that's out there. It has at its basis a different blockchain than Bitcoin does. What its purpose is, it also is used for buying and selling, but it has at its basis the ability to create smart contracts. Now, what are smart contracts? Smart contracts are a program that's within the Ethereum network that allows you to set up a buy and sell contract with another party. And instead of it requiring say a lawyer, a bank, and other individuals that are in the middle of the process, the Ethereum platform takes care of all of those things without having to pay a middleman. So those are the smart contracts that can be created with using the Ethereum platform. Now that hasn't been fully utilized yet because a lot of people don't understand it, but that's at the basis of it, and people are starting to use it for that at this point. Litecoin is a lighter version, like it says, of Bitcoin. It's used for transactions. What they claim is that their process of verification is a lot faster than Bitcoin's. And so that's the basis that they're built on. And that's one of the reasons why Walmart has chosen them to do as the first coin they're going to accept, because the transactions are faster. So at this point, I'm going to open it up for questions because there's a lot that I can tell you, but I gave you the basis for blockchain, which is at the foundation of Bitcoin and what makes it legitimate in terms of being a safe transaction currency. So any questions?
So hi, this is Ron. I have a question. Now, how do you find out what how the coin has a purpose? You say the coin needs to have a purpose. How do you find that out?
Well, there are a number of different ways you can do that. You can Google it, of course, and they are glad to have their information out there in order to make sure that people understand that their coin is legitimate. Also, on Coinbase, they have a number of different educational areas where they teach you about an actual coin. So as they get information in, they will allow you to watch a short video. And as you watch the video, they will actually pay you in that coin. It's like $1 or $2, but you can accumulate $4 or $5 depending on how many of those videos they have worth of a coin. And in the meantime, you're also finding out what their purpose is. Okay.
And then if I understand this correctly, Ethereum is a contract?
Ethereum is a cryptocurrency, right? It can also be used for buying and selling, but its underlying main purpose is to start creating smart contracts.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. It's just all kind of confusing to me, but I appreciate the information.
It is to a lot of people, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. How you doing? Thank you for everything. I got a couple questions.
Okay.
Okay. Number one is what's your take on, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I have several cryptocurrencies. I have several, and but I'm still trying to understand the wallet. Okay, putting your currency in a wallet. That's my first question. Is what's your take on, if you get some little advice on how to do that. And then number two is, what would be your top 5? What would be your top 5 of the crypto that you would advise, if you can?
Okay. I'm not a financial advisor, so as Tim mentioned at the beginning of the call, I am not qualified financially to give you suggestions as to what to buy and what to sell. I can tell you what I have, but to answer your first question, okay, so the way, okay, so a wallet, just so for everybody, a wallet is a secure place online where people can keep their coins, right? Just as you would take money from a bank and put it in your wallet in your pocket. you can take your crypto that you buy on the exchange, right? So the exchange being equivalent of a bank where you're buying the crypto, you can take it from the exchange and put it into a wallet. Now, what is a wallet? A wallet is a place that is secure, that holds the transaction for your purchase, right? So remember I was talking about blockchain. Blockchain actually holds the particulars of your purchase. And when you download your crypto to a wallet, you're actually taking the blockchain that has your transaction on it and putting it somewhere other than the wallet, right? That's on Coinbase. So let me just back up with half a step there. Coinbase actually holds your coins in a wallet. Okay, so if you buy Bitcoin, you actually are creating a Bitcoin wallet on the Coinbase exchange, right? It's on their server. They are holding the money in your wallet for that particular coin. If you want to transfer your Bitcoin to somewhere else, either to a different wallet or to a different exchange or to a different person, you would create an exchange, an address for the wallet you want to change it to within Coinbase. And if you follow the menus, you can actually find that. It has a place where where it says addresses, and you can create, it says add a new address. You would take the blockchain, the address from wherever you want to put that you're going to exchange the Bitcoin to. You would take that from the place you're sending it to. You would add it to the addresses within Coinbase. And then, unfortunately, there's a 48-hour waiting period to verify that that's what you want to do, and for them to send you an email saying that you created this new address. But basically, it's a security measure. You create the new address within Coinbase, and then you can transfer your Bitcoin into that address, right? Which sends it to whatever wallet you took the address from. So, so think of a wallet just like the wallet in your pocket. You can take your Bitcoin or any of your other coins and transfer it to a wallet on another exchange. Is that?
And on that, I guess it'll be a part B. Yes, sir, it does. And on the part B of that question, so I understand that there's different levels of spending, right, per wallet. I think so you can spend on a daily basis on how much, I guess, depending on how much you have in crypto, what kind of currency you have, depending on what kind of wallet you get. Is that correct?
Yes, and that's again a security measure, so that if a person has a lot of money in a particular wallet, hackers can't come in and take it all out at one particular time if it's above, whatever level they set as the limit.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
As far as coins, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of coins out there. As I said, there's up to like 7,000 coins now, I think. They are a wide variety of coins, and it's difficult to tell when they're going to go up or when they're going to go down. But if you wanted to, if I gave you my top 5, don't hold it against me, all right? So I would say, that, first of all, Bitcoin and Ethereum. At this point, I just got into Litecoin because of the Walmart announcement. Algo is short for Algorand. And this is another topic for another day, but basically with Algo in Coinbase, you can actually stake it. And what that means is that you can put it aside into their locked wallet, and you can earn 4% on it. And the 4% is credited daily. So it's not like you have to wait a month, like in the bank, to get credited for, the 0.001% that they're giving you in the banks now in savings accounts. This is 4%, and it's credited daily to your account. Another one that I would, okay, so now there's Doji Coin and Shiba Inu. Those are ones that are very popular. They do have a stated purpose, but their purpose has not been verified or confirmed yet, or let me say, hasn't been acted on yet. All right. Right now, those are just speculation coins. Doji is at 24, 25 cents. It's been hyped by Elon Musk. If you've heard some of the news, he has been hyping it. And so whenever he does that, it goes up in price. He hasn't done it lately, but it's been holding steadily at the 24, 25% level. Shiba Inu is one that is a real small fraction of a penny. It's actually 0.0000 3 or 4 now. And what's that? Dollars. Okay, so it's really small, which means that you can buy a lot of them for a little bit of money, which is always good. The speculation is that people want it to go up to a penny. I have some. I'm skeptical about how far it's going to go, only because the reason I'm skeptical is they have issued, right, when they created the coin, they created 700, and I think it was 83 trillion coins. Now, what that means is that if you take 783 trillion and you multiply it by 0.0004 or 3 or 4, you're going to get a large number. So my concern is that if it goes up to, let's say it went up to $1, the total worth of all of the Shiba Inu coins would be $783 trillion. Well, there are only around $200-300 trillion in the entire economy. So Shiba Inu can't get to $1 without really blowing up the whole economic fabric. It would have to. Microcurrencies are actually replacing current currencies, right? The total of Bitcoin and Ethereum is somewhere just over $2 trillion, I think, right? So we're talking 2 trillion versus 200 trillion for the whole economy, right? So that's just 1%. But for Shiba Inu to go to $1, it would have to be 783 trillion, which is way more than the entire economy. So you see my skepticism as far as how it's going to go. If it went to a penny, it would be 7 trillion, which would be more than the other coins put together at this point. But again, that at least is possible because it's like 3% of the total economy. But how is it going to fare in terms of the other coins? Is it possible? Yes. I mean, these coins can go wherever people send them. But that's my only concern with Shiba Inu. As I said, I'm in it. It's almost doubled since we got in. At least the high today was 0.000042 that I saw. It's pulled back a little to 3.4, but it's got room to run. Any other questions?
Greg, hi, yes. Thank you for the presentation. I did purchase some the coins. I went through Cryptocom. I went to Voyager and BitGard. So I have several investments in the coins, and you were just talking about the Shiba, which I made purchases in. So my son and I, we go back and forth all day watching the, how it's going up and it'll go back down slightly and back up again. but you were saying you don't think that it's going to go up. You just explained it how, because it will affect the economy. So I've been listening to some Asian investors who owns a nail salon, and this is all they're saying, that Shiba's going up and you should definitely jump on. But what you're saying is like kind of opposite of what they're saying. So could you just elaborate on, Shiba a little bit more? Like, do you think, so is it not wise to make more purchases to the coins? Because I have like over 8 million at this point. I'm thinking of, I was going to make a few more purchases, but I hear what you're saying. So what's your take on that?
Okay, so again, to repeat what I said actually was, I'm just skeptical as to how far it will go, right? And does it, as I said at the end, it does have room to run. It does have room to increase before it gets into the realm of affecting the total economy. As I said, even if it gets to 0.01, right? If it gets to a penny, it's still only 7 trillion out of the whole 200 trillion of the economy. So it's not going to be, it's not going to have any deleterious effect on the economy. It's, taking over a portion of the economy, and that's fine. So yes, I'm not disagreeing with the Asians that it's time to jump. It's good to jump in at this point. But what I'm saying is that I will probably jump out at 0.001.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When it's under 7 trillion, when it's under $1 trillion in total,
Yeah.
right? Only because, and I'm not going to jump out completely. I'll probably keep, a lot. Like Sir Dan, I have right now 38 million.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that it has to be watched.
Yeah.
That's all.
So thank you. So let me just ask you this. So I got a update this morning from Crypto.com saying that Shiba was up like 20% in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
So it's almost, I'm just trying to understand the game is basically. And then they're encouraging you, of course, to purchase more. What is it tie with PayPal and these different cash apps? Like if you look at Cash App or PayPal, they're continuously encouraging you to make purchases of the Shiba. Are they all tied in together, like in cahoots together with?
I think PayPal wants to increase their exposure to different coins. I hadn't actually heard that PayPal was accepting Shiba, but or selling Shiba. But the way that these things work, okay, PayPal, Square, all the others, what they do is they actually stock these coins at a lower price, and then they try to get you to buy them from them at a higher price. So that's what they're doing. If they have, 200 million Shiba Inu shares, coins, then they bought them at 5 zeros and a 6 or 7 or whatever, and they can now sell them at 4 zeros and a 4. That's multiplying their money by 6 or 7 times, right? Between 6 and 7 times. So sure, they want to do that, but so that's why they might be advising people to buy or pushing people to buy at this point. But that's how they make money.
Thank you, Greg. My son and I have fun watching this. We actually laugh and scream all through the day about these. But I know he's on the other line with his wife. But I definitely appreciate your wisdom in this, because you explained it, because I was really trying to understand it better, since I made the investment, but you explained a lot. So thank you. And I would like to have seen what you were sharing on your screen, just to get a little bit more of a pictorial idea of the Shiba. But thank you, sir, and I look forward to you coming back on and talking more about it. Thank you. God bless.
Hey, hey, Greg. This is Dana. This is Dana. I just wanted to go back just a little bit when you were talking about wallets. One of the things that Fado, my son-in-law, we're doing. He's already ordered it and he has it, and I'm ordering a ledger. You're familiar with the ledger, right?
I've heard the term before, yes.
Okay, well, it's like a storage device where you can store your crypto. Okay, and it's advisable that when you are purchasing all of this crypto, that you put it on a ledger. I'm pretty sure Kev knows about it. And what it does is, if any Voyager or any of these platforms are hacked, then your crypto is safe because you store it in your own personal wallet, and which is called Ledger. So it's advisable that you purchase a device. You can Google it. It's called Ledger. I would get it from its original manufacturer, and it's encrypted. And that way, if any of these devices or platforms get hacked, okay, your cryptocurrency will be safe on your ledger. You have to, remember your code. If you lose it, all you got to do, you can retrieve it. You can, as long as you remember your username and password, and it will stay with you. And then another thing, Connie, when you were talking about how far, and he was saying how far he thinks that Shiba Inu is going to go. In this season, what I'm learning as it pertains to investing, this new millennial family is changing the game. It's the same thing that they did with GameStop. What they are doing is there's this big, huge community, whether it's GameStop or Doge or Shiba Inu. These big communities are encouraging people to buy and hold, and it's driving the price up. And it's the new norm, where big institutions used to control the market. The new millennial thinking is they are controlling based on supply and demand, and they're driving the market up, and it's going against traditional mathematics. And so when you follow what these millennials are doing, man, they are making a difference, and it's amazing. And they're pushing these different coins that doesn't make sense, by the way. It doesn't make sense. And I was giving Victor today, he and I was talking today, an example. If you put $1,000 in Shiba Inu, every time a zero is taken away, 1,000 would go to 10,000. You take another zero away, 10,000 will go to 100,000. So I'm like, Brother Trent, I'm not looking for it to go to $1. Somewhere in the 0.01, 0.001 range, it gets there. I'm good. Because I sold a yacht amount, not a scooter amount.
But Dana, let me ask you this.
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying the ledger, is that the only way to protect? So the VPN has nothing to do with the ledger, like just to protect yourself with it?
Well, they're two different animals. A VPN actually hides your IP address. So if somebody is trying to look at your activity, a VPN hides your activity, hides you from would-be hackers. That's what a VPN does. They hide you. They can't see you.
Hides your computer.
Your activity. What this ledger does is it removes your actual accounting from Voyager or any particular platform, and you have it.
Okay.
You store it. It's just like a thumb drive. It looks identically as a thumb drive, and you have it, but it's still on that particular platform in terms of accounting wise. But you actually have the physical. I guess I'm saying it right, Kev. If you can jump in, and if they hack Voyager or any of these particular platforms, your money is safe. In other words, it's like you go to SunTrust. This is and you say, okay, I want to keep my own money, but I want you to still keep accounting. You for me. It's still under SunTrust umbrella, but
Right.
I'm holding. It.
So do you
So
suggest?
if they rob SunTrust, you still got your money.
Right. So that means I need a ledger for all three then, or maybe I should.
A ledger. You could put you could transfer all of your cryptocurrencies from all of your different
into one ledger
platforms and store it on a ledger. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I got you.
And my son-in-law has a direct connection with Fado, and Fado can help you guys with that.
Oh, well, I'm calling Fado. I already got a call out to him. He actually texted me, so I'm not supposed to be on this call. It's our 35th anniversary today, and I snuck in here to make this to be part of it because I wanted to hear about the crypto. But yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Fado because I want to know about that ledger so I can protect my investment. So thank you guys. I'm checking out now. So I'm out. Thank you so much again, Trent.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Dana. Serving Dana. Good night.
Bye. So and to back up what Serving Dana was saying, it's the ledger is basically a hot wallet, right? So what I was talking about with wallets applies to that. You can transfer your coins to that wallet. Hard wallet. So the hard wallet is actually, as Serving Dana said, a thumb drive, and you can transfer your information of your coins to that hard wallet, the thumb drive, and hold it there so that you have the information. As he said, if they're hacked and they empty out accounts, you can recover yours because you have the information that pertains to your coins, and you can transfer that back to the exchange and reestablish your coins. And for instance, when you want to sell, you can also transfer the information back. You would have to transfer the information back to the exchange so that you can sell the coins. In other words, you can't have it in both places, right? Any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to throw two things out, and you don't have to respond, but XRP and XLM.
Okay. XRP is Ripple. Now, the problem with Ripple is right now that it's being under investigation by the SEC. They're claiming whatever they want to claim, but they're holding up buying and selling of it in certain exchanges. You can see what's going on in certain exchanges, but for instance, Coinbase does not allow you to buy or sell Ripple. No, I'm not sure if there are any others that operate. Dana, do you know of any that allow buying and selling of Ripple?
Bityard, BITYARD. Bityard allows you to purchase and sell XRP. I am big on XRP. I truly believe, now this is my belief, I'm not giving financial advice, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I have a whole lot of XRP. I bought it when it was 24 cents. And I have quite a bit of it. And I believe that they're gonna beat the charge. The they're being charged with, they're saying that they were supposed to register as a security and they didn't. But the problem is the security exchange, they let Bitcoin and Ethereum get away with it. And the XRP Ripple people are asking, why are you trying to punish us, and you let Bitcoin and Ethereum? I think they're going to beat it. The other thing that the reason why I'm really big and bullish on XRP is because in the European markets, they're using XRP, and I'm telling you, they love XRP. And for those of you that don't know what XRP is, what it is, it's like a money transfer. It's set up for a digital currency transfer. It's like how we go to MoneyGram or the dollar. Like anytime that you want to send somebody money, you go to MoneyGram, or what was the other one? There was another one that was very popular, MoneyGram, and what was the other one?
Union.
Western Union.
Western Union.
Okay. So XRP is the Western Union MoneyGram of cryptocurrency. And when they set this up, they were supposed to register it in the United States as a security, and they didn't. That's what's being alleged. And so a lot of back and forth. However, everybody else other than the United States has approved XRP, and in Japan and Asia, they are absolutely loving XRP. And I'm thinking, this is my belief, is when they beat this court case, that XRP is going to go to the moon. That's my take on it.
Yeah, Dana, I was told, got some good friends that's pretty close out in DC, and I was told that I have quite a bit of XRP, and I've been sitting on it for a while. I think I got in about at 27, and but I was told that is the move to make, especially now while they're under investigation, because once that clears, then you're going to have a lot of smiling faces as a result of it. So, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, Pastor Ron, I'm with you, brother. And like I said, and it's just right now, it's still, in my opinion, a steal. I got in at 24 cents. Right now, it's like, $1 and some change. I still think it's a great buy. You can go to BitYard and purchase, and you don't, just a small percentage, put $100, get you, or put 1,000 if you could afford it, get you 1,000. I got quite a bit. And it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk.
Thank you.
To answer the second part of your question, Pastor Ron, you were talking about XLM, which is Stellar. I've been looking at Stellar, watching it for a while. It's gone up a little bit at a time. Hasn't really taken off, but it does seem to increase steadily. I have no problem with it. I haven't really looked into the basis of it yet, but it is one of those coins that are traded on Coinbase. So they have vetted it. I have no problem with it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Yes, I put a question in the chat. Just want to make sure. Number one, is this industry regulated? Number two, are there any tax consequences that we need to be aware of once things begin to roll out in our favor, in terms of increases or exchanges we cash out?
Right. Okay. So first part, is it regulated? No, it's not, except unfortunately in New York State. New York State has required exchanges to have a bit license. The legitimacy of a bit license is probably questionable at best, but it does create certain problems for people in New York as far as buying and selling is concerned. exchanges like Bityard and some of the others, Binance, Kraken, and a few of the others, don't allow anybody in New York to buy and sell on their exchange. Even Bitcoin, even Coinbase has restrictions on which coins we can actually buy here in New York. There's a whole list of them, including, by the way, Shiba Inu, that we can't buy on Coinbase because we're in New York State. So it is a nuisance. The bit license itself is, I don't know, you know, we're having a lawyer look into it now because, you know, there are certain issues with it, questions that we have as to its legitimacy and application. But overall, the United States has not decided on any regulation on any of the cryptocurrencies. And I was actually surprised that the SEC even bothered with Ripple, but it may be because of the international implications that Dana was talking about in terms of transferring money to and from the United States to people in other countries, even though that can probably still be done with any of the other coins. The second part of your question, yes, taxes. So in general, if you buy and sell, the IRS is treating cryptocurrency as an asset. So it would be treated the same as stocks, that if you sell them, you incur an increase in your cash value. And so you have a gain that you have to pay taxes on. It would be treated the same as the capital gains. You would have to report it on the Schedule D and pay taxes on it if it comes through the Schedule D in the proper way. Does that help?
Yes, it does. The question is also, since it's not regulated, like Coinbase, that I am currently involved with and purchasing through, do they report via 1099s to the IRS? How would they know they're not regulated, what the activity is in certain exchanges?
Yes, if you look on Coinbase's frequently asked questions, you'll find out that Coinbase does report on a 1099 miscellaneous any capital gains from sales that occur in their exchange that are greater than $600. So if the capital gains is less than $600, they're not going to send out a 1099, but over $600 they do. Okay.
Well, a great trend. This is Anthony Burrell.
Hey,
Man, good to see you. Give my love to Sister Claire.
Will do. Can hear you.
You got somebody with me, you know, as green as grass and wanting to get started because my friend Dana is just so excited about what crypto is doing and his own personal experience and that kind of thing.
Sure.
When you look at allocation in a portfolio, how much, because of the volatility associated with crypto, how much of what kind of percentage should I look to invest out of my total portfolio in crypto?
There are a number of different theories on that, and basically it's based on how much risk you're willing to take with a portion of your assets. So if you're dependent on your portfolio for income, or for that you're close to retirement and you're going to be dependent on those assets for your retirement, then you should be less willing to put money at risk. And when I say risk, I mean diversity, right? So for instance, somebody who is 20 years old or 30 years old might be more willing to risk money. They might, and in doing that, they want to get a higher gain at first. And as they get older, of course, they would take that money out and put it into safer vehicles. But you know, if they want to have the risk, the increase that cryptocurrency promises, well, not promises, but gives you the impression that they're going to have, then they would be more willing to put more at risk than, say, somebody who's closer to retirement. Typically, people are talking about 5 to 10% of their portfolio in cryptocurrency. Even the banks now are talking about that kind of exposure. But again, it's a personal thing that you should discuss with your financial advisor to see how much you would want to put in there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. Pastor Griff, I think I'm done for the day.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff, Greg. We went about 17 minutes over, and I think it was befitting that we did it. It was just a great topic. And again, family, all I would say is kudos to G. Trent and the rest of us that are in this space. And just to add to the conversation, I remember when cell phones came out, and when cell phones came out, they were priced at such a rate that a lot of people couldn't reach for them. And nobody really wanted to give up their home phones for the cell phone. I beg to differ now that a lot of us have cell phones, i.e. for just basically two reasons. Probably to send a fax if you're still doing some faxing, and basically for your gate at, if you live in a gated community like I do, for the gate, and for your alarm system, which you don't really need it for your alarm system because you can really run that through your cell phone. So it's a space that I know we're probably reluctant to get in, but again, it's a big industry, and all things are trending this way. So you definitely want to tap in and tap in. You don't have to tap in hard. You can tap in like we did initially when we talked about this a year ago, where we got in at $500 and we just start, moving stuff around. And I can say this, I've tripled that $500, since the last time we've been in, and quadrupled that $500. So it's definitely a space that you want to get in and you want to be involved in. And then you can kind of, just like your stocks, you got in with your stocks and you started moving around, and then that portfolio kind of grew. Same thing with cryptocurrency. So, hey, listen, we may have to do a part 2 on this. If that's what you guys want, I'll reach out later this week and we'll do a part 2. But again, we went through everything to try to get you set up. I like the Coinbase app personally. That's the one that I use myself because they do a lot of vetting that I'm not able to do because I'm on the stock side so heavy. So I feel comfortable with Coinbase because they don't let certain coins on until they went through Coinbase vetting system. And Coinbase has a wallet as well. The ledger is good. I have no qualms about the ledger, but I will say this: if you start your wallet off with $100, $200, or $500, you might not want to make that investment into a ledger because I don't think you're heavy enough. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have some real money into your cryptocurrency area, then you may want to invest in getting that ledger. But I think Coinbase can handle $500. I think Coinbase can handle a couple $1,000, even if they were to get hacked. But the ledger is good if you're heavy. If you're heavy, you might want to do that to secure it. It's always good to secure it. So on and so forth. So listen, family, we're going to ask Bishop to come on, give us the Bishop's take and pray and get us out. Hey, Greg, man, hats off to you, man. What a wonderful, 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 wonderful presentation tonight. Serving Dana, man, you was great at the top of the hour and you was awesome at the back of the hour, all things crypto. And I think this was a great show, man. I enjoyed it so much. I learned a lot tonight. And That's what this SNS is about. There's no one person in this show. All of us work together because at the end of the day, SNS started with a foundation for us to be a community, and we all get wealthy together, we all grow together, and we all share together. It's one big family. And listen, we want to pull the talents. If you're good in one area and you're strong in that area, hey, we're gonna let you get up the bat and knock it out the plate. So Greg, man, hats off to you. And I think we may have to do a round 2 on this. Without further ado, Bishop Holtz, man, give us your take and pray us out. Family, thanks for seeing you. Salutes, hats off to you. Let's have a great week in the market. Bishop Holtz, it's on you.
Great meeting, guys. All things crypto. Excellent, Greg. And to the rest of the group, great information tonight. And we trust that we continue to become empowered, inspired, educated, so that we can make the best decisions possible to protect and increase our prosperity. Father, we thank you again for this meeting tonight, for this group tonight. Bless our efforts. Continue, God, to give us a mind to please you. Help us to be creative in our thinking and positive in our planning, that we may bring increase to our families and our communities. Go with us now as we leave this place, but never your presence. Bless us as we go each and every day. Keep us healthy and make us wealthy. In Jesus' name, amen. Good night.
Amen. Good night, everybody.
Amen.